Okay, we have a fascinating game here on Friday night. We have Illinois visiting Kansas, who is a 3-point home favorite, has an over-under 56.5 points. Game kicks Friday night, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2. So if you're not watching the U.S. Open on the main ESPN feed, or if you're not visiting some high school Friday night lights, this game is going to be very interesting, I think. The last time Illinois visited Lawrence, Kansas for football was back in 1892. Wonder if they took maybe half of the Oregon Trail to get there to play this football game. That is a long time ago, Kelly. Stadium stuff. I love stadium stuff. David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium is ready for a huge upgrade. I don't know if you saw the renderings from this. They're having like a whole entertainment complex around it. Very excited to see that come out because the stadium, historic as it may be, definitely needs a little bit of work. Kansas opened up as a 1.5-point home favorite, and that has since climbed to 3. It's hitting that key figure, of course. And the total has been bet up from 51.5 to 56.5. Big mover. I kind of get it after watching both of these teams' performances last week. Jalen Daniels, this is important. He did not play last week. He was held out on what I think to be precautionary measures. It doesn't look like he is a serious injury. It's more just nagging. And, when you have Jason Bean as your backup, you can go ahead and put him in there against FCS Missouri State. Jalen Daniels should return for this game from by all accounts that I saw. Of course, the Jayhawks notched that 48-17 impressive win over Missouri State. And this is also the second Friday night game for Kansas, interestingly. They played on Friday last week as well. Illinois, talking about their first game, they just couldn't get Toledo off the field. Toledo had 95 total plays and gained 74% of total available yards. So what that means is if you're starting at the 25, how much percentage of that 75 yards did you get? And Toledo was just chewing up the field. Again, 74% of total available yards. That's impressive, and it really shouldn't happen against an Illinois defense that by all accounts still has a lot of talent on it. I thought the Fighting Illini offense ran better under Luke Altmaier than they have been, and now they get a more favorable matchup in the secondary than that pesky Toledo secondary that did a really good job, I think, shutting them down there. But, my aggregated power ratings have this half point in favor of Kansas. Pick them, really. I mean, true toss-up. 0 is a dead number, so, whatever on there. Even outside the numbers, the spread in this game is just fully hands-off for me. It's a little bit of a weird game on a Friday night, but, what do your numbers make sense of this?
Well, first, Brett, I can't let you off the hook. The Oregon Trail, yes, I love that. Amazing. It's probably what they did take in 1892, the early days of college football. You mentioned Kansas Memorial Stadium. Yeah, probably doesn't get much love with Fog Allen Fieldhouse getting so much across the way for Kansas being such a big basketball school. I love that stuff, man. And our numbers, more importantly, are in agreement on this game here, as they usually are. I actually have this as a pick'em with a 51% win expectancy for Illinois. So I'm leaning ever so slightly that way. Again, it's a true toss-up for me. Illinois was tested in their 30-28 Week 1 victory over the MAC favorite Toledo, as you mentioned there. The offense improved from number 79 projected in the preseason to now number 73. But Illinois' rating did drop a football point per game, and they fell from number 41 to number 47 in the rankings. That's due to the defensive unit rank dropping from a number 6 projection to a now number 30. So I think it is safe to say they do miss Ryan Walters. I didn't really know what to expect without him this year. Maybe 6 was an overshot. We're now down to 30, and we'll be monitoring that number to see how it moves throughout the year. But Kansas's rating, on the other hand, it rose by about a half point this week. Their corresponding ranking, though, fell 1 spot from number 56 to number 57. It's a good reminder that rating movement and ranking movement aren't always the same, but fans should be more concerned with their rating movement. So it was a good performance for Kansas against Missouri State last week. The offense held steady in the low 20s, even without Daniels, but the defense improved from number 105 to now number 97. There's still work to be done. I mean, your power rated number 97 on defense. There's work to be done, but not being sub 100 is an important step for the Jayhawks as they attempt to get back to bowl eligibility again this year. This game being in Lawrence could be the difference, as those fans are sure to be excited about a Power 5 opponent that apparently hasn't been there since 1892, coming to town and a chance to get to 2-0. If the Jayhawks get this one, my numbers will favor them to get off to a 4-0 start for the second consecutive year. That's amazing for Kansas football to be able just to say that. So this is a big game. Bottom line, I have it as a pick-em with a 51% win expectancy for the Illini.
I do have to correct myself on this historical fact. It looked like they majorly stopped using the Oregon Trail by the 1880s. There was a few stragglers left there, but the train, the railroad, was the new hotness in the streets. So maybe that's the way that they got there, because they sure didn't take a chartered flight back in the day there.
Who knew you were getting a history lesson on the Lines.com college football show today?
If anything here, I probably lean Illinois' team total over 27.5. They looked efficient against a better defense last week. I think that they'll be able to move the ball on this 97th ranked Kansas defense. Is that right? 97? Yeah, 97 that they moved up to. They should be able to have some success there. They actually had a 51% success rate, which was the top 11% on the week against a good defense, I think. They scored 30 points as well on just 61 scrimmage plays. So you're going into Kansas, you're probably going to get a few more snaps. It's going to be a higher paced game, I think. So if you're getting 27.5 there, I'd probably lean over that team total. Missouri State, just for some context, my 29th FCS team, if you're looking at composite rankings, so not a total pushover, in Kansas just absolutely took care of business without their starting quarterback. I don't take a ton of stock from the game, but something that's a little concerning to me. They had a 0% havoc rate and a 4% stuff rate. You should be getting a lot more than that on a team that you're overmatching. And we knew that the defensive line was going to be a little bit of a concern for Kansas this year. And yeah, it was a concern in week one. So I think Illinois will be able to get a push up front, assuming that they don't completely turn around and have a night and day type of performance here. But either way, this is appointment television for me, Kelly.
No doubt. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And like I said, this is a big game for especially Kansas as they attempt to get bowl eligible this year. That fan base can use it. They were on a high last year, and I hope they're able to get it done again this year because I enjoy when Kansas football is good. It's just fun. Like, we're not used to it. It's fun, right? So give them some success on the gridiron to match that success they've had on the hardwood.